Dear friends, it's my privilege to welcome you at the annual regional meeting 2006, the fifth in its series at AGRA, as a residential meeting covering about 6 themes, 20 topics, and 11 caucuses. It's a wonderful privilege once again for me to lead such a meeting for the third time in a row with my colleagues, 35 of them who are working hard towards the preparation of this event.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the 5th annual regional meeting of OneWorld South Asia on knowledge-based advocacy for achieving the Millennium Development Goals. Namaste to everybody, and a very warm welcome on behalf of OWSA to the 200 participants who have come here from our neighboring countries. It's a great privilege to be here on behalf of OWSA and welcome all of you, brothers, sisters and friends. We all know Anna Hazare ji, a noted Gandhian, who has very actively played a very important role whenever it has come to the role of common people in governance, as well as when it has been to speak out on behalf of the government, how to function and what in true sense governance means.
सबसे पहले मैं विविध देशों से आए हुए भाई बहनों का मैं स्वागत करता हूँ और मैं आपसे कोई ज्ञान की बातें तो नहीं बताऊंगा, लेकिन हम लोग जिस विषय पर 2 दिन के लिए चर्चा करने वाले हैं उसमें इन्वायरमेंट, पर्यावरण है, दारिद्र्य निर्मूलन है, आरोग्य के बारे में है, शिक्षा के बारे में है कि हम साउथ एशिया में इन प्रश्नों को लेकर जो परिवर्तन लाना है उसमें 2 दिन की जो चर्चा हम करने जा रहे हैं यहाँ, उसके बारे में हम थोड़ा सा जो काम किया है उसके बारे में अनुभव बताएंगे आपसे। आज ये समाज के लिए, देश के लिए बहुत बड़ा काम करने वाले व्यक्ति मेरे सामने हैं। ऐसे होते हुए भी डॉक्टर शादी साहब मुझे बताया कि ये वर्कशॉप का ओपनिंग आपके हाथ से करना है, तो मेरे सामने प्रश्न करो, इतने महानुभाव यहाँ आने वाले हैं, तो इस वजह से मुझे सौभाग्य मिला कि आप सबका एक मुलाकात के दिन में हो जाएगा। तो इसलिए आज जो यहाँ वर्कशॉप का उद्घाटन हुआ, ऐसे मैं जाहिर करता हूँ।
It gives me great pleasure to get the opportunity of addressing this eminent audience very briefly this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sri Lankan delegation, which I represent, comprise a variety of distinguished persons representing both the government and non-governmental sectors, and we bring to this meeting a wide range of expertise and experience connected to achieving the Millennium Development Goals. since Sri Lanka committed itself 5 years ago to this task, the efforts taken by multiple stakeholders in my country, ably assisted by a variety of UN and other agencies and our other development partners, were wide-ranging and highly significant. These efforts contributed in many ways to our slow but steady journey towards achieving the MDG targets.
It's a wonderful privilege for me to welcome each one of you to this annual regional meeting. Thank you for that lovely introduction, calling me the father of AGRA initiatives. I cherish calling OneWorld in Hindi, in the Sanskrit language, AGRA. So we are one family, we are one world.
Increasingly, development initiatives around the world today need to be supported by people of different kinds. Governments, corporations, NGOs, individuals, philanthropists, and so on. The magnitude of the problems that we face today is so large, I don't think it can be handled by any one person or one organization or one group of people. It is important, therefore, that we seek and obtain the cooperation of a variety of institutions. That is where multi-stakeholder partnership comes in.
It is important to keep this group actually motivated, and as Arun said, the participation in the conference by the participants was much more than the previous years, because the OneWorld staff and the treasury everything taking a back seat, making the partners to be more participative. I think that way we need to keep this team intact, sustain it, and develop it further. It is a difficult task to keep the same kind of spirit among the partners. It is difficult, but that is most critical for success of this program.
Multi-stakeholder partnership or multi-sectoral partnership is a new concept. It's seen as an alternative to the public-private partnership models, but not so yet, because the MSP approach is being tried out, investigated upon, and appreciated more so, as all those who experience MSPs come forward to share their lessons. OneWorld South Asia believes in a multi-stakeholder partnership approach to achieving the Millennium Development Goals, because MSPs offer you that opportunity to assess the shared risks, shared responsibilities, shared benefits, and also the shared values that you bring along from each of your sector.
Oh, yeah, I think the general thing about public-private partnership should be expanded to a multi-stakeholder partnership. For instance, I come officially from the government space. So when you have civil society organizations, policymakers, parliamentarians, NGOs, community groups, then I think the chances of actualizing, implementing policies becomes much greater when you have multi-stakeholders on the same platform. Yes, that's a way to go.
Well, I think it is high time we thought about this multi-stakeholder partnership, because for long we have been talking about public-private partnership, and the time has come, and I'm glad that this came up when Mr. Shadrach mentioned about it yesterday. I think this is the need of the time.
Well, I think this is very much essentially required, as a matter of fact, to involve everybody, because no single agency can do it, and no single sector can do it, and no individual can do it. So we have to all come together and then work together and define our roles, and not only roles but our own responsibilities and accountabilities, and then only probably we succeed. Now, community is again very important issue in this. So when we talk of this multi-sectoral partnership, community must be a very, very vital part of it.
This is my second consecutive year in the annual regional meeting of OneWorld South Asia. I've seen it, when comparing it with last year, I've seen the level of discussions mature to a much higher level. And what I also feel, I think, is this year we're being much more practical in terms of to say that all the discussions are geared towards action rather than just a very esoteric academic discussion. So I think this year, I think the discussions are very much focused towards on-the-ground action. The other thing that I liked about ARM 2006 is last year 500 people, and it was just too large. And for any person to be heard was near to impossible. Today, this year, 6 teams broken up into multiple groups, and smaller groups you could really be heard, and the one-to-one comradeship between all the workers different across the region in different every country. I think that's a strong bondage that's going to make this ARM very special and very effective.
I mean, in general, we are really, very interested in the going for multi-stakeholder partnership, because, at the moment in Sri Lanka, our health service is mainly government-owned health system, and we do have the private sector, but it's basically for the outpatient care. So in the health service provision, so we need multi-stakeholder partnership, and we want to build up with the other stakeholders and see that how it's progressing and how we can improve our health indicator further, because we have realized that we have come to a level that our health indicators are now, it's becoming very difficult to achieve further. So unless we get the multi-stakeholders support, we may not be able to reach the goals. So we are really looking for it, and then we are very much interested in sharing our views and learning from others and making a better one world. Okay.
I think it's good. We can't just leave something with two partners in an increasing democracy and in the democratization that ICT will bring, which is our intention, that it should be taken to the poorest and to everybody. We can't just confine ourselves to one or two or even three partners. So we eventually have to go to multi-stakeholders.
Multi-stakeholder partnerships is very idealistic, and if it works, it's fantastic, and it should work, and we all have to do our best to make it work, but it's highly chaotic. Multi-stakeholder partnerships have often proven to be a long process. It's a recent buzzword in civil society. The good side of it, for example, although WISIS, World Summit on Information Society, did not provide anything binding on nation states, but it has shown us what that word means, multi-stakeholder process. And in my view, multi-stakeholder process, although it's invented by civil society, it's still dominated by civil society organizations, and it should extend.